Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. Today is September 1st, 2023. It's Friday at 78 degrees Fahrenheit or 26 degrees Celsius at 9 p.m. according to the JJ calendar. Good old Blue Jay and his calendar. I should show this every month. But there you go. That's the Blue Jay calendar. So today we're going to do the Brian Batchelder soil method. Now, that's the only one that worked for my Myrtus, his method, because it worked, so I'm sticking with it. I'm using pure unmilled sphagnum moss that I soaked. Now, Brian's book, his book, New Horizons and Bonsai, goes for about $50 used. His collectible book goes for $322.07. I thought I brought the book with me and I didn't. Well, I'll show it to you on the next video. But to do it, long story short, I got to get my gloves on because with cuts and stuff, when you do unmilled sphagnum moss, you should wear gloves if you got cuts, because I know Brian died from something in the moss. I mean, he's been doing it for over about 13 years, his new method, because he was bonsai a long time ago using same old soil like everybody else. But he found out that the pure unmilled sphagnum moss worked the best. So, as Ed Norton would say on The Honeymooners when he put on his gloves pretending to be a doctor, "Don't touch me, I'm sterile." I don't know if you guys remember that. Now, I cleaned off the roots the best I could. I had to do it outside with the hose because these were real tight. And I think we're going to cut the top off because I have movement here for a twin trunk and movement over here. So that's the way you do it on the Grow and Clip method. So I'm just going to cut it off a little high to allow for dieback and add a slant because it'll be outside. And I'll hit lipstick on it later, but I'm going to put this into my frog because I haven't had a chance to do anything with any of the other ones yet. So let me get that in there. There we go. Well, Tommy needs some more water. Let's get that in there. Filling it up so they can all stay hydrated. I'll show you the other one on the next video because it was too dark to do it. But you can see the roots, how they look. I got a real thick, well, let's bring it down here so you can see what I'm doing. I got a real thick root right here. I don't know if it's where it was grafted, but you can see how thick it is. So, you know, nothing cuts wood like ironwood, so I'm going to use my needle nose pruners to cut it. And I just sharpened my root scissors, and I'm going to cut this root going down. Let's see what else we got. Well, I think we can get some more of the soil off, the better. There we go. It's hard to see in the dark outside. I know I should have did it earlier, but what are you going to do? The main thing is to try to get most of the soil off. Let me just wet it in here. There we go. Now these roots are real tough. Oh, got a face full of that. So, let's get this bottom root going straight down because we want to try to develop a nice radial root base. Get that out of the way. Get this clump of soil out of the way. Now, let's see how our roots are spread out, if we can get them spread. So I'm going to get this out of the way for now. I know I didn't clean up. So right now, I don't know if you can see it. Come on, Tom, get it closer so they can see. We're going to rake the roots out the best we can. Get all that old soil off. So, because the best way it works with this if you get most of the soil off of it, which we're doing. Now, we really have to get our radial root base. Now you can see there's nothing on here. So that one's a thick one. I'm going to have to cut it about here. Just like that to open it up the bottom. There we go. And now you can see a root right here that's a little bit tough and going straight down. So we're just going to go in with our needle nose and see if we can just nip it in the bud right there. Pull it out so you can see that we're opening up the root base a little bit better. Take some of these dead ones off. We go into the water here and really get that rinsed. Okay. Now I think we can get these turning roots. If you look down, they're going counterclockwise. So I'm going to just clip them like that. Take that one out. Let's get these off a little bit. You can see we're just trying to get them so we can get a nice radial root base out of these. But you can see the one root here is really thick, so we're going to get this one out so we can get a nice root flare going out. Now there's feeder roots coming off of this one, but not that much, so I'm going to cut it back to where the feeder roots are. And this one's going straight down, so we're going to cut it back to here so we can get a nice radial root base there. Get it out. And I think like this should be good. Now I got the hole drilled in this pot. This is an old used pot that I had. And this will fit in real nice. And you don't put no screen in here because you got unmilled sphagnum moss. So let's get all this stuff out of the way. And now, because I know we're going to have a lot of water. Yes, this is it if you can see it. I got this from Ted's greenhouse. True Myrtle. Okay, so now put our tray here. Now I'm not using beneficial bacteria because the sphagnum moss has its own healing properties and root growing properties. So I'm just going to stick with that. Let me get that out of the way. Let's put this closer. There's my moss. I had it soaking for a couple hours so it's good and wet. You can see how nice and wet it is. So before we do anything, we're going to flip her upside down. Call her to her because she flowers. And then I'm going to stick it right inside there and hold it and put some into the bottom. Push it in. Now with the sphagnum moss, you have to push it in. You're going to say, Tom, you're killing the roots. No, I'm not killing the roots. And I'm using a square pot because any side could be the front. And we're just going to pack it in there. Now with Brian's method, you got to really, really, really pack this in. Pack it in. What you going to do with all that other moss? Well, we're going to do another video. We're going to do the same thing. But we'll use a different tree this time. At the same time, since I don't have time lapse or I don't have stop action or editing, I have to do a majority of the, when I prepare for Brian's soil method, I have to do a majority of the stuff outside. I can't do it in 2 parts because by the time it uploads and by the time you do it again, I don't know, with an iPad you can't do it. At least I don't know how to do it. There. So I'm really pushing now with my right hand because I can't really push a lot yet with the left until this end of September when I see the woman that takes care of the battery. That's keeping me going. There we go. Let's pour some in there. Don't be afraid. Use the moss. And it's not going to spoil. Just like that. Pushing it in. Push it in. You got to cram it in there. Cram it in. Cram it in. Now, if you got arthritis, I don't recommend doing this. If you got arthritis in the fingers, unless you get somebody else to help you. Or, where's Mr. Spoon? Mr. Spoon. I put Mr. Spoon away. Here he is. You can always use something like the back end of Mr. Spoon. And just push it in. If you got bad fingers, just do it that way. Push it in, push it in, push it in, push it in. Push, 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 push. You gotta push. Push that in there. Push that in there. Okay, we got still more on the sides. We gotta push it in. Push it in. It's gotta be packed. Now it's gonna take a good month for this thing to start growing. I'll try to show you in the next video how the crepe myrtle took off after 2 months. So it really took off nice. There. Okay, let me get some more moss. Packing up on the sides of the pots where my fingers are going in yet, because you can't get your fingers into the pot. It's got to be thick. It's got to be packed. I mean, you got to really, really push, 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 push. That's the secret to Brian's method. I'll show you his book in the next video. But I got mine at a good deal. I think I paid like $25 for mine. Because he was the first one to really go into bonsai that I could really understand. He was on PBS. I can't find his videos. I don't know. It's something that they didn't save them and put them out. I mean, there's a lot of people, oh, you can't do bonsai this way. Brian did it. His trees were magnificent. Magnificent. By just using pure unmilled sphagnum moss. Now, I know a lot of people with arthritis can't do this. That's why I do all the other soils. But with my arch nemesis, this myrtle here, it really, the other one really took off. I couldn't believe how nice it grew. There. You gotta push it in there. You gotta get them fingers in there. It's good to have strong fingers. Now you can see how deep my fingers going into here. So I mean, I need some more moss in that corner. Stick it in. Stick it in. Push it in. Push. Don't be afraid. It's not going to kill the roots. He did worse than this on big trees. I don't have a lot of moss to get a big tree and try it, but maybe if I'm, Lord willing, I'm still around next spring, we'll try a big one. And we'll use the moss and do that. And his trees really, they grew twice as fast. The trunks thicken up twice as fast. So, there. There we go. And with my lavender, they grew in real good. Now you see how I pushing my finger in? See how deep it's going? What does that tell you? A little more moss. A little more moss. And you can see the big strands of moss I've been putting in here. what you got to do. You got to fill up all these voids. So get that in there. Push it in. Push it in. Push. 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 Don't be afraid. Now, if you want to try this method and you got arthritis, get a young whippersnapper to help you out. Or one of your friends that's got good fingers. There. Just like that. Look at that. Look at that. Let me water it so you can see it darker. So I can get it in more. Now I can't get my fingers into the side of the pot at all. It's packed. It's packed. I mean, it's packed. Look at that. And I'll take my scissors and cut off the moss that's hanging on the sides to dress up the pot. And there you go. So why buy all that expensive soil? And the square pot could be, can this be the front? 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 We'll see. So now I'm going to get my lipstick. Let me take my gloves off. Lipstick. We'll get this one. We're going to just hit that cut. Hold it. There we go. Just like that. There's one right here. And right there. Just a little dab will do you, like the old Brylcreem commercials. What happened, Lasha? That's Lasha. Let's see if you can see Lasha. What'd you eat, Lash? She must have ate something. She's eating grass again. I don't know if this thing's stuck, but that's Lasha. Kevin's around here someplace. He's been out all day, so he's probably going to... He probably want to lay down someplace to go to sleep. But that's how you do it. You got to have strong fingers. Strong fingers. There's our little guy. Yeah, I bet you I can get some moss and put it on there and it'll grow. I don't know, but if Sherry Chi lets me know to put moss on there, I'll give it a try. But I have to find some. It's dry. It's going to get hot again. The heat's coming in again. So what are you going to do? And I'm going to put on the back of here when I repotted it, and we'll go from there. Ted's greenhouse. There we go. You can even have a kitty corner. Let me get this out of your way so you can see it. There. And yes, I know God made pants to wipe your hands in, but he also made paper towels too. So, it's Friday night. And what's Friday night? It's dance night. So grab your sweetie, kick the tables and chairs on the side. If you got kids, put them to bed. Put on a pot of tea. Put on some old time radio music, some big band music. Sit back, relax. Do a little slow dance with your wife if you can't do it. Then just sit back on the table or on your favorite chair. Turn the lights down low. Put on some big band music. Sip on a cup of tea. Hold each other's hand. And remember when you were young and just listen to the music. When music was music. Take care, everybody.